Hey, good morning, everybody. This is El Majesty Lewis Speaks, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about relationships and one sided relationships at that. I realize that in the past I've been in one sided relationships where I was doing the most. I was the one who basically went to visit the person. I was the one who paid for things, paid for dates, paid for movies, paid for trips. I was the one who basically paid for it all. I was the one doing the most, even emotionally, spiritually, sexually. I was the one giving 100% and they were giving me crumbs. And for a while, I tolerated this because I was lonely. I had this fantasy in my head of how I wanted things to be. And so I would try to fulfill that fantasy at every turn, even if it meant me doing the most. And I think what ended up happening was the other people and the other person, they begin to coast. They begin to get comfortable. And they felt as though I would always be there to pick up the slack. They got used to that. And so I set up that dynamic where I was the one who was doing the most. And so throughout the relationship, they come to expect that. And so I realized that in the beginning of a relationship, you have to, for one, lay down the ground rules. You have to, for one, erect your boundaries. You have to set up a dynamic where it's equal. Two people working together to build a solid relationship. It's not about you doing the most. It's about both of you doing the most. Putting your best foot forward to show each other that you're worth it. I realize also in a relationship, you should not have to cajole and coax someone, talk them into wanting to do for you. You shouldn't have to beg them or fight tooth and nail just to get them to give you the bare minimum. There are some people who feel that you're high maintenance because you expect the bare minimum. But you're not. You're not. You're just a person that requires the R word. Reciprocity. Give and take. And there's nothing wrong with that. You deserve someone who wants to give you. Someone who is generous with their time, their energy, and their resources. Not somebody who's going to sit up there and try to deprive you of what you know you deserve. And there's a lot of people out here, a lot of people that are just looking to reclaim what they lost in prior relationships, and they use you to do that. When they see somebody who's a generous spirit, when they see somebody who really wants to be with them, they try to capitalize on that and take advantage of you. And that's a shame. It's like these days you can't really show genuine interest without being a target. And that to me is very sad. It's disgusting if you ask me, but it's reality. And so you have to make sure that before you invest in somebody, are they really down for you? Are they really into you? Are they willing to sacrifice for you? That's a key word right there, sacrifice. What are they willing to sacrifice to be with you? Do they meet you halfway? Or do they expect you to always, do things their way? If they're not meeting you halfway, if they're not coming correct, you have to drop them. And that's the hard part. When you're lonely, when you want company, it's hard. It's hard to just say, no, I can't do this anymore. But you have to say that. Because to be honest, when you're the one giving the most in relationships, you're already by yourself. You're already out there by yourself. You just have the illusion of a partner, the illusion of something real, but you're already by yourself. And so you need to wake up. For one, wake up, see reality. Take a moment to pause, hit the pause button, and start doing that inventory. Start doing that cost-benefit analysis. What am I getting versus what I am giving? If I'm giving so much more than what I'm getting, I gotta let it go. And the thing about it is, it's not so much about keeping score. Generosity should be an honest reflection of your heart. It should be an honest expression of your deepest feelings towards somebody. But if you're out there doing the most, and this person's not doing anything, they're just trying to get by in the bare minimum, that's not going to fly. It's not going to last. It's going to put a strain on the relationship. It's going to lead to resentment, hostility, anger, bitterness, and you don't need that. It's toxic for the relationship. So, with that being said, stop doing the most. You know? Start demanding what you deserve. Because you deserve it all. You know why you deserve it all? Because for one, you're God's child. He don't make no junk. And he don't make no person here to just basically tolerate nonsense. He created us to be happy, to be beautiful, reflections of his grace and kindness. And it's not beautiful to be taken advantage of. That's one. And you deserve the most also because you give the most. And when you give the most, you deserve the most. And you demand the most. And so this is Lewis Speaks, signing off. And just telling you, please, know your worth. Know your worth and do not deviate from the script. Because you deserve the most. Much love to all of you.